Friday to you. It is September 24th and time for this week's Friday Funnies. Let me start by saying that fall has fallen on us this week as we've entered the season known as autumn. When the kids go back to school, the good TV shows come back on the air, and Election Day is only 6 weeks away. So it's a feel-good time of the year. That being said, here's the feel-good news stories of the week. Our first one concerns a man by the name of Shelby Marwan Higgs, and he lives in Macon, Georgia. Mr. Higgs wants to change his name, and when I first read this story, I said, well, I can see his point. If my name were Shelby Marwan Higgs, I'd want to change my name too. But he wants to change his to St. Jody Almighty Bedrock. You see, after convictions for drunk driving and marijuana possession, Mr. Higgs said he has turned to God, and he wants his new name to reflect his devotion. So he wants to be St. Jody Almighty Bedrock. I'm not sure, but I believe the original St. Bedrock was the patron saint of the Flintstones. All right, here's something we like to call Police Blotter. Police Blotter. Starting off in Spokane, Washington, a 31-year-old man was stopped by police who found a knife, a digital scale, and a bag of marijuana in his backpack. But they suspected he might have something hidden in his butt cavity. So they attempted to do a cavity search, but the man was very uncooperative, and as they said, he stood with his buttocks tightly clenched. So what did they do? They went and got a judge to issue a search warrant for the man's ass. And they took him to the hospital where they performed the cavity search. Nothing was found. The only thing they found was one small slip of paper said inspected by number 17. In the meantime, in Raleigh, North Carolina, Eric Chambers set off the metal detector as he was being checked into the central prison. And now he is being charged with attempting to smuggle contraband in the prison when police found, upon further search of him, that he had a cell phone hidden in his rectum.
Ew.
It was set on vibrate. Can you hear me now? All right, in our third Police Blotter story, you know, parking tickets can cause stress, but if you get one in Cambridge, Massachusetts, it comes with complete instructions for some stress-reducing yoga positions. So if you get a parking ticket, you turn it over, and there's how to do different yoga positions, like the downward-facing taxpayer, and what they call the city government position, where they bend you into such a shape that you would be able to conduct your very own cavity search. All right, here's a candidate for Mother of the Year. You know, everybody knows that mothers invented multitasking. So at first when I saw this story from Grants Pass, Oregon, I didn't know why everybody was so upset that this woman performed an errand before she picked her kids up from school. And then I found out that that errand was to rob the Umpqua Bank. Woman pulled up to the bank, walked inside, gave the teller a note, walked out with money, got in her car, and drove away. But not before people had a pretty good description of her car and her license plate number. Police followed this information, led them to the home of Erica Anderson. So they were there waiting in her driveway when she returned from picking up her kids at school. Looks like Mommy's going to be in for a rather lengthy timeout. And our final story this week concerns a 49-year-old man in Ann Arbor, Michigan, who was arrested for getting into a fight with his pet parrot. The man was walking around, had his parrot in his backpack, and I guess this is when the argument broke out, because the guy reached in his backpack, pulled out the parrot, started slapping him and shaking him, and the parrot in turn was biting at the man, and somebody called 911, and the police finally came and separated the man and his parrot, and he was taken off to the Washtenaw County Jail. The parrot has said that the fight was a domestic squabble and that they would like you to please respect their privacy. Personally, I think the fight was all started when the parrot flipped him the bird. Hey, that's all I have for you this week. Hey, next week, remember, no Friday Funnies next week. We will be back on October 8th, but I am going to be out entertaining the masses, so no funnies next week. See you back on October 8th. Have a wonderful weekend. Here it flips.